Hey guys, what is up? Devon here with another video update, and as you can see from the title, I am no longer doing DoorDash. Nope, no longer doing DoorDash, and as some of you know, I am also no longer doing Instacart. I had stopped Instacart several months ago, maybe a couple months, I say several, but about a couple months ago. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So, I'll just be very transparent with everyone. Because of my mental health, and this is not a cop-out, this is just the honest-to-God truth, I do have, various mental health conditions and, learning disabilities, and we can jump into all that in another video. But as a result of that, it has been incredibly difficult for me to be able to maintain employment or get employment, maintain employment, whatever you want to call it. So the one thing, and I do mean the one thing, that worked out for me for some time off and on was being a mobile DJ. I picked up an interest in mobile DJing when I was in elementary school. There was school dances. Do they even really do those anymore? Because you don't hear too much. Obviously, maybe with COVID, not so much, but anyhow, so elementary school, went to the dances, seen the DJ setup, and was just like, I just automatically loved it. And from there, that was my passion. I seen the lights and the speakers and all the wonderful, wonderful stuff that went along with that, and knew that's what your boy wants to do. I want to be a DJ. So I would pick up little karaoke machines. I can remember I bought 2 karaoke machines once, and I played the music on one, took the microphone from it, and so it would essentially play out at both speakers. So I did the garage DJing, all that. So anyway, we'll maybe do a whole nother video on that. So basically, I have done DJ work off and on throughout my life, and when I mean off and on, I would do it for a period of time, and then I'd get out of it again, and then maybe I'd jump back and go into it again. So, there we go. But it never was what I would say successful for me. What I mean by that, it was never really steady, meaning that I might have some gigs here and there, but never enough to where I could pay my bills consistently. And trust me, guys, I tried. I'm not trying to put myself down and make myself sound bad, but I don't know if just due to some of my mental health, I'm just maybe not great at it. I don't know if I'm just not persistent enough to, do all the stuff I need to do to be able to get. But my goal through DJing was always to be a recognized company and have good reviews, be booked every weekend throughout the whole year. I wanted that. I always wanted that. That was always my goal, my dream, that was everything, but I just never got there. Just never got there. Skipping ahead from that, last year, so 2021, around February, beginning of February, I don't know if I seen an ad for Instacart. I don't know if I just happened to, I don't know what led me there, to be honest, thinking back, but I ended up applying for a position as a shopper/driver for Instacart. Got approved, started doing it. And it was at first, I started going heavy. I was going at it heavy. I was going out 7 days a week. Now, just to remind you guys, my entire life and adult life, money has always been an issue for me. Like, I have never had a consistent paycheck. I've never had that financial security, and I've always wanted it, but I've never had it. So when I started doing Instacart, that was the first time in my adult life that I was able to receive a steady week to week, not month to month, week to week paycheck. And I wasn't making, I don't want to come across and be like, oh, I was making bukus. I was making okay. And for someone who's never had a consistent weekly paycheck, it was good. It was good for me. It was good for my wife. It was good for our family. My family's my wife and I. So just so you know, I don't have kids or anybody else living with me. So I was doing that for a while, and after going at that, I did eventually apply for DoorDash. I did DoorDash, but I was never serious about it. I kind of sort of half-assed it. Like when I say that, it doesn't mean that I was like doing a shitty job, but it just means that like I wasn't putting my all into it, because I at that time had all my eggs in the Instacart basket. I basically worshipped Instacart. That's not the right word, but I just really, really, really like Instacart was my everything, and so I was really putting all my eggs into that basket, and I was not really, when I was doing DoorDash the first time around, I just wasn't doing it every day. I wasn't consistent. I wasn't really focusing on doing a good job, and just being honest with you, I got fired. Deactivated is what they call it. But I got deactivated from DoorDash, and I wasn't too offended or upset or disappointed or anything about it, because, again, I was really doing Instacart. So that didn't concern me too much. And in my market, let me just tell you, I live in a very small town in Ohio, and so that's a whole nother story. But Instacart was okay in my 2021, beginning of 2021. It was winter. I was seeing good batches. A batch is what is basically a shopping job. I was seeing good batches, and the money was good, and it wasn't until, that summer of 2021 where the batches just started going from to, I just wasn't seeing them, meaning I wasn't seeing batches anymore that I used to, and if I was seeing a batch, the payout was, and that forced me to have to go out of town. So I would drive to various towns during the day and do Instacart. That's when mentally it really started to fuck with me. That's when it caught up and my mental health just started going. And the best way to describe it is I was just feeling not myself anymore. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find the right words. But I was a lot more, I was starting to see depression more than I have in quite some time. So I was feeling a lot more depressed, a lot more down. That's when things really started going downhill. And I'm going to be honest with you, about one moment that I really realized mentally I wasn't doing too good. So we had went out of town one day, because when it was slow here where I live, we would go out of town a couple towns over, about 45 minutes away, and I would go batches and shop and work in that town. So at the time, I had a car that I was paying on monthly. Nice little silver car. It was an Ion is what it was. I hope I'm saying that right. But nice car, nice little car. And I had worked a lot that day. I was going at it so freaking ass heavy. I got out. There's this out of town place. I worked all morning, afternoon, and it was like almost evening, nighttime. So I come home, and I wrecked the car. Mentally, I was just I don't even know the right words to use, so I'm just going to say mentally. And that just caused me to I wrecked the car. And that was a moment that I had realized something needs to change. I knew I was going beyond where I was comfortable with the job and working too much. And oh, so anyway, then I had reapplied for my job at DoorDash because Instacart just started getting horrendous. Like, I wasn't seeing batches in my town. If I was, they were, sorry to keep doing that, but the batches just started getting sucky as hell. Like, real bad. The payout was bad. It was just all bad. So I reapplied for my position at DoorDash. Got hired back on. This time, I wanted to put my all into it and do it all by the books. And I was at a 5-star rating. Maintained that 5 stars for a good long time, too. And then, first, I got deactivated from Instacart, but not at the same time. Like, I had already applied for DoorDash again the second time. I was doing DoorDash, but still had Instacart, so I was kind of doing them both. I do a little DoorDash, a little Instacart, wherever the batches and, things were at, I do. So I went out of town one day, and I don't want to get into I just don't. If somebody wants to know, you're more than welcome to private message me or email me, and we can have a discussion. But I really messed up with my mental health. I made a poor choice, a poor decision, and I got fired. One day I was out of town working about an hour away. I'd taken a batch. My mental health had just got the best of me, and I got fired, deactivated, had filed an appeal, was told no. So then I had to put my all into DoorDash. But let me just be very transparent and real with you, just keeping it real. I wanted to be deactivated because I just couldn't, like, mentally, it was just becoming way too much. I couldn't do it. The depression had gotten way worse, and I was self-sabotaging. And what I mean by self-sabotaging is I was literally doing, I'll just say this, again, I don't want to go in details, but I was doing destructive things, so to speak, to try to get deactivated, because instead of me just saying, look, for the reasons, for whatever reason, my mental health is so bad, I can just stop doing these apps. I didn't. I don't know why I couldn't just on my own quit, but I was literally seeking to try to get deactivated because mentally it was just wearing me. And so I did. That did work for when I was doing Instacart. So then I had to put my everything into DoorDash. That's the only gig app I had. I'm in a very small town, as I've already mentioned. And a lot of times, we would just drive. I would just drive, sit in a parking lot, look at my phone, nothing. So sometimes I would sit out for hours on end trying to find a DoorDash order and there not be any. And I just could not stand sitting. It just drove me nuts. But I still did the job well. I was a 5-star. And I just started getting so worn down with that mentally as well that I started self-sabotaging again. Again, I don't want to go into the ins and outs. What's done is done. But long story short, I got myself deactivated from DoorDash, so I'm no longer working for that. Or Instacart. So, I guess the moral of my story was just to share with you guys kind of that little work experience that I had doing Instacart and DoorDash, and just update you and let you know I'm not doing it anymore. And to be honest with you, I'm feeling a lot better. There still is financial struggle now, but with my mental health, working is just difficult. And I don't want to use it as a cop-out. I'm not, I promise. But it was just such a struggle for me. And now I'm just trying to, see what's going to happen next. But so that's what happened, and I'm no longer with them now, or Instacart or DoorDash, and that's the update video. So I hope you guys, maybe, I don't know what you would have enjoyed about it, because it wasn't great news, but just wanted to update you guys, and like I said, little vlog here, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Hope you're all doing well. See ya.